and welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset. It's Week 8, Game 8. I've got with me right in front of me the head coach of the Oakland Patriots, Coach Kevin Creasy. Coach, how you doing?
Doing good, Storm.
I talked to you right before I went to Auburn. You played Warren County and then played Haywood. And it's been about longer than that. It's been about 19 days since we talked. So take us through what's going on in Oakland High School. You did pick up a couple of wins, but I'll let you talk a little bit more about where you are and your journey toward us splitting them up.
Well, we were one of the only teams in the county that had a game during fall break. So I thought, getting to play during fall break, a lot of people see it as a disadvantage. It was a little rough getting everybody here to practice, that sort of thing. But I thought our guys handled it well, had a good win over Warren County, had a good win over a good Haywood County team. And I think it kind of kept us rolling in the right direction. Real fortunate, didn't have too many injuries. And, that may help us this coming Friday because a lot of times after a week off, you're a little rusty and things aren't as smooth as they were when you left off.
Things you noticed that didn't go well that you needed to work on that you thought you could get a quick fix or do something about. Even though you got the W, you're always conscious of trying to improve. Last 19 days, what are those key points you've been trying to work on?
Well, I didn't think we started very good in both of those games. I think, we need to be better at starting quickly. I thought, there was times when there was a lull and they didn't play with enough enthusiasm or emotion. But we want to make sure that our guys stick with the plan. I thought we had better second halves against both those guys. Special teams played a great factor in both wins, and we were real happy with the way our offense got to scoring a little bit. Our defense has been playing consistent all year, and then special teams became another big part in the win. So as long as we can get a win in 2 of the 3 phases of the game, things are going to usually go well for us. But we want to definitely win all 3 phases of the game.
Do you feel like it takes a lot of head and feet movement to do your offense? Do you feel like how do you feel like that's progressing as far as just becoming a better and more refined at running your offensive scheme? Do you feel like your guys are picking up on it? And you're seeing where they're getting to where they need to quicker, and is it being executed like are you where you need to be along the path?
Well, you're going to get better at what you repeatedly do. And, they've been doing it for a while now, and they're getting better at it. And like I said, we've been lucky with injuries, so consistency's been there as far as the same starting lineup over and over and over. So that helps you out on offense. The thing about offense is it's different than defense. You can have 2-3 people miss an assignment on defense, 2-3 people loaf, 2 or 3 people not do what they're supposed to on defense, and still have a good play on defense. On offense, if you have one guy that misses an assignment, messes up, decides to take a play off, decide to loaf, then it messes with your offense. You can't have a successful play. You got to have all 11 people singing off the same sheet of music, and that's what we're trying for. And like I said, we've been real lucky because of the consistency of the same starting lineup and the same offensive linemen, the same skill guys, and the same quarterback. We've been flowing pretty well.
Talk to your opponent about the upcoming game and everything, and he likes your wing tee. He likes the way you execute. Bragged about some of your guys that get the ball and do the scoring for you, as well as the blocking and tackling. And you had the opportunity of working with him. Talk to us a little bit about him. What do you think about Coach Adlott?
That's what I was about to say. I really like Coach Adlott's wing tee. I know one of the things I got when I first came over here is that the guys that were leaving off the previous staff bragged about how great he ran his offense and what a good play caller he was, and did a great job of running the wing tee. And they told me that that gave them fits when they competed against Riverdale. And it was a big conversation about bringing the wing tee to this league. And Chris White, who is a great defense coordinator and was the coordinator here for years, had said, what a great job Adlott did with his wing tee and how it made him work that much harder. And that's kind of a compliment when your rival is working on you because they know that you're doing the right things, you're making the right calls, you're making it tough on the defense, you're putting them in a bind, and he's kind of done that with this new offense. Now it's called a new offense because it's shotgun and it looks like a lot of things that you see on Saturdays with Tennessee or Auburn. But at the same time, it's got a lot of the same principles, a lot of wing T principles. Things are matriculated through decades of football, and it comes down to blocking, and it comes down to angles, and it comes down to a numbers game, and it comes down to getting your playmakers the ball in space. And we can talk philosophy all day. That's the wing T philosophy. That's the shotgun philosophy. That's the spread philosophy. At the end of the day, Coach A-Lot's a great coach. He's always been a great play caller, and I don't expect anything less from him on Friday night.
So what's it going to take to beat these guys? What do you think is going to have to happen?
I don't think you need to start slow. Like I said, that's one of my complaints from the last couple of games. I don't think we need to start slow. I don't think they're going to start slow. I think you need to take an advantage early in this game. But with that said, it's a rivalry game. Last year it was 14-14 going into the second quarter. Obviously you look at the 8 guys that went to college for Oakland, and I think Riverdale might have had one kid that signed and went and played. So, the advantage was the talent was obviously on Oakland's side, but it was 14-14.
Yeah.
So you can take all the records out. You can take who has the best players, who has the best this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, it's the 11 guys on the field and who's going to play the hardest, make the least amount of mistakes, who controls the ball, who can run it, who can stop the run, and who can hold on to the ball. I think are going to be huge points in winning this game. And that's the way it's going to be the week after next, and the week after that, and the week after that. And, that's the same message I'm sure Coach A-Lot's telling his team.
I want to say one more thing. I thought I did get a chance to slide over Friday night, catch a few clips. Thought your kicker did a really good job. It's raining. 3 things have to happen, I've been told, on the field goal: the snap, the hold, and then somebody's got to push it through the uprights. And it seems like to me he executed pretty good Friday night. And it wasn't just a simple sprinkle there for a while in the second and third quarter. And I left, I got out, it was too wet for Stork. It seemed like, did it continue to rain on until you all got off the field? Or
It was off and on, off and on. Do want to give some credit to our long snappers, John Leonard.
Okay.
We've got Tim DeMumbry, and both those guys did really well under pressure of the rain. Our punter had one of his best punts of the year, pinned them inside their 20, did a really good job. Our kickers have done well most of the year, did a great job kicking off for us. But, our snapper for our offense, I thought he did a heck of a job because we did challenge him, knowing that it was going to be raining, told him that it probably was similar to something that we would see in the playoffs.
Sure, because it's going to be a little colder. We're going to get into climatic weather. It's going to stop being fun.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, for especially if you're down and you're playing, I mean, then it don't feel good at all.
Right. And our center's Benji Arnett, and this is his first year starting, and I think he was maybe a guard or a tackle last year, but he's done a great job for us at center.
He took on a lot of responsibility.
He did, and most of his snaps were really, really good, almost perfect. We're trying to strive for perfection, especially with the snaps, but he did a really good job with the weather, and not only that, he had about a 320-pound nose guard lined up on top of him. So that's pretty big responsibility as well. So we were real happy with how we held on to the ball, except one punt return, or actually 2 punt returns. But besides that, we did a pretty good job.
Thought you got out, was able to catch the ball, caught the ball Friday night, even though it was raining, and seems like your quarterback did well in executing also in the rain.
Yeah, quarterback did well. I think he only threw 5 passes, but we completed 80% of them. So
that's all you asked for.
4 out of 5 is not bad. We'll take 8 out of 10. Didn't have to throw it as much.
But you need to you've got to do it, and you need to do it in the rain because you don't want to come up and it be Halloween night or week after and it pouring rain and you're not used to doing it. You want that confidence, don't you, Coach?
You want to give them the opportunity to succeed and put them in those positions to see if you can rely on them or not.
Right.
And I thought our receivers did a good job of catching the ball, but again, our quarterback Matthews had some big time situations in which we asked him to throw, And then right toward the middle of the game, they stacked 11 in the box, and we could see that Friday. We could see it later in the playoffs. And it was one of those deals where they figured we were probably going to run it because it was pouring down rain.
Right.
And he threw a perfect pass to Cameron Massengill, and the floodgates opened then. So
yeah.
It was pretty much a blowout after that. But we were real happy, like I said, with the way we executed offense, and even with the inclement weather.
Well, I'll end up saying this: your players, they seem to react to the scoreboard, meaning that when they get a little bit of lead, they start to smell the blood and they keep their foot on the gas. It seems like, and that's a good thing. You can't ask for much more.
Right, and we've talked about that early in the year. We felt like there was a lot of times where they didn't finish the way they needed to, and it's constantly something that we got to hone in on and work on. And so we still got ways to go, but
it's not trying to kick the other team, but it's about finishing the game, because
right.
We've seen where that isn't a good thing to do. Get in the fourth quarter, lose a little bit of the lead, and let your opponent back in where they're within striking distance.
Right, and we try to sub people out just from an injury standpoint,
sure.
because of a depth standpoint. But those guys have to get 4 quarters in a lot of times just to stay in that game type shape.
Yeah.
Game shape's a whole lot different than going to the local gym and getting in shape.
Oh yeah.
It's totally different, and our guys, it's a balancing act. You try to get them 4 quarters, but then of course you don't want to rub in the score on somebody. But you got to get your guys ready for 4 quarters in the playoffs. So you got to worry about your team first, and that's what we did Friday.
Well, it's funny you say that, and people don't even know this until you do it. I ran a little cross country, and actually a lot of people don't know it, but I wasn't one of the best ones, but I ran with some guys that were really good. But I did follow their training methods and stuff. And one of the things that we did was you actually run the race at about half, 3/4 speed. You run that full race before you run the race. That's how you figure out where you're going to try your points, where you're going to try to pick up some ground somewhere in the race. You actually go through the whole course, run the whole course literally at about half speed to see, okay, if I've got a hill coming or wherever, is this a spot where I can maybe put some runners behind me and catch a few spots? So I mean, I do know that. Well, Friday night right here, Battle of the Borough. Coach A-Lot and the Riverdale Warriors will be here, 7 o'clock. I'm sure it'll be a great game. I'm going to be out of town with customers, but we will meet back here next Wednesday and catch back up and find out. And good luck Friday night. So right here at Ray Hughes Stadium, join Coach Creasy and Coach A-Lot as they'll go at it in the big time Battle of the Borough. We'll see you there.